probably the greatest game of college football to ever be played. And this was for all the marbles. A national championship was on the line tonight. Probably the greatest ending that you will ever see. Not only to a national championship game, not only to a college football game, but probably in the history of college sports. I just can't wrap my mind around what just happened. So let's kind of go over some of the keys that I had originally, because I made the predictions video about a week ago. And I said Clemson would pick up a 38-34 victory. A little bit off, but I still had Clemson winning by 4 points. Keys for Alabama were to pressure Deshaun Watson, to feed Bo Scarborough, look for dynamic wideouts, take out the Clemson running game, and don't take Clemson lightly. While Clemson's keys were to protect Deshaun Watson, mistake-free football, force Hurts into mistakes and pressure him. Your 50-50 balls to Mike Williams, Hunter Renfrow, or maybe to Jordan Leggett. Defense needs to give the offense a short field. It seemed like throughout the game, Alabama did all 5 of these keys at some point, while Clemson was only doing about 2 of these. They weren't doing any 50-50 balls. The defense did give them a short field. They weren't playing mistake-free football. And they were pressuring Jalen Hurts really well. They were forcing him to run with the football, which that's not what you really want to do. You had to force him to throw the football in order to give you a chance to win the game. And they forced Hurts into making some mistakes. They forced him to overthrowing Ardarius Stewart, overthrowing Calvin Ridley. Because going back to Alabama's keys, looking for your dynamic wideouts. They did not step up to play today. Ardarius Stewart dropped some passes. Calvin Ridley dropped some passes. Jalen Hurts overthrew Ardarius Stewart. He overthrew Calvin Ridley. The best pass that Jalen Hurts made of the night was that long touchdown pass to O.J. Howard. Well, let's look at this. Here's your dynamic wideouts that I said were going to be X factors. Calvin Ridley, only 36 receiving yards on 5 catches. Ardarius Stewart, only 12 receiving yards on 2 catches. So they did a great job of forcing Jalen Hurts to throw the football quickly in that second half. And here's the thing, Alabama's defense gave up. They gave up 420 passing yards. Then they gave up 91 rushing yards. So that is a grand total of 511 total yards. When was the last time you saw a Nick Saban coached Alabama defense give up 511 yards in a game? I think that is the most I've ever seen that Nick Saban defense has allowed. Maybe 2013 against Texas A&M could have been a little bit closer. But I think this is the most I've seen in the Nick Saban era at Alabama. So let's get to these scoring plays. It started off with the Bo Scarborough touchdown to give Alabama an early 7-0 lead. And then Clemson struggled to get the ball moving. They couldn't find their proper players. They couldn't find Mike Williams or Renfrow. And they found Mike Williams throughout a couple of plays early in the game. They couldn't get points on the board. And then in the second quarter, Bo Scarborough runs for another touchdown, giving Alabama a 14-0 lead. But then Deshaun Watson leads a magical drive a couple minutes for the half. A big touchdown by Deshaun Watson, keeping his feet in bounds. And we're at halftime with Alabama leading 14-7. This is where the craziness begins. Clemson gets the ball first to start the second half. They get the ball moving a little bit, but then a bad snap. However, Clemson's defense rises to the occasion. And they're able to come away with only giving up 3 points. So now we're at 17-7, Alabama leading. Later in the third quarter, Deshaun Watson gets the ball moving once again, finding the momentum. This time he finds Hunter Renfrow, who I said had to have a big game for Clemson to win this game. So now we are at 17-14, Alabama leads. Just when you think Clemson has momentum in this game, a busted coverage. And once again, O.J. Howard just completely kills Clemson's secondary. What was Jalen Hurts' probably best pass of the night? Playing O.J. Howard on that long touchdown run. And that gives Alabama a 10-point lead once again. So now we are at 24-14. So we are at 24-14. We're just getting ready to start the fourth quarter. But before the third quarter ends, Clemson gets the ball moving once again. Deshaun Watson's moving this football at will. He's finding Mike Williams. He's finding Leggett. He's finding Renfrow. He's finding Deion Kane, who I kind of unexpectedly made a big appearance in this championship game. As I was doing my live stream on Facebook, by the way, thank you for everybody that watched that. It was a great experimental night for Johnny Tuck Sports. Maybe we'll do that again for the Super Bowl. Who knows? We'll see. Mike Williams just gets a great touchdown catch right into the back of the end zone to give only a 3-point deficit once again. So now we are at, I believe we're now in the story, but 24-21. Then Clemson's defense gets another stop. But then Clemson gets a 3-and-out. Then they have to punt the football again. Then Clemson's defense rises to the occasion, led by Ben Boulware, led by Christian Wilkins. Then I believe it was the third time was the charm in the fourth quarter for Clemson to take the lead. Because we were thinking, time was running out. Was Deshaun Watson able to lead Clemson to get the win? To take the lead? But Deshaun Watson leads a huge drive. And Wayne Gallman scores to take the lead with about 4.5 minutes to go. So now we are at Clemson leading 28-24. The lead switched hands so many times throughout the fourth quarter. In fact, this was gonna kind of come down to whoever got the ball last was probably going to win this game, based on how the offenses were scoring. But then, with 4 minutes left, Clemson's crowd gets fired up. They start jumping. They start screaming like crazy. Wasn't the pressure going to get to 18-year-old freshman Jalen Hurts? I mean, I'm 19 years old and I'm an amateur YouTuber, so clearly Jalen Hurts has a better life than I do, whether he wins or loses this game. At first, the first play, Jalen Hurts has to throw it away, so he's forced in 2nd and 10. A couple plays later, we were at a 4th and 1. I knew they were going to have to go for that, because based on how Clemson was running the ball and how they were getting those short passes at will, how they were moving the football, I didn't think Allen was going to get the football again if they decided to punt the football, and I was technically right. So they handed it off to Damian Harris, because Bo Scarborough had to leave the game because I think he kind of twisted his ankle a little bit. That was kind of the turning point. However, in the fourth quarter, Alabama kind of beat themselves a little bit. Jalen Hurts had O.J. Howard wide open on a play, but he threw it away instead, or he decided to run with the football. Damian Harris also had kind of a screen pass. He had an easy first down, but O.J. Howard didn't see him, so he took the ball himself. He ended up 4 yards short of the first down. So Alabama's beating themselves on 2 plays already. However, with just about maybe 2 minutes and 10 seconds left, Jalen Hurts just starts running like there's no tomorrow, which there really is not. And he scores to give Alabama a 31-28 lead with 2 minutes and 10 seconds left. The script is set. It's set for a USC Texas kind of game. Deshaun Watson has 2 minutes. I mean, he used exactly 2 minutes on this final drive. 2:01 left on the clock. He even found the clutch throws. He found Mike Williams. What a big catch by Mike Williams. Leggett made big catches. He was the one that actually got them inside the goal line. They got him inside the 10-yard line. And then we're set up for probably the biggest ending in college football history. 6 seconds left. Clemson doesn't decide to go for the tie. They decide to go for the national championship. Deshaun Watson, he looks right. He sees Hunter Renfrow. He's got space. He gets to Hunter Renfrow a touchdown with 1 second on the clock, giving Clemson a 35-31 lead and victory. Nick Saban just paces around the sideline wondering what just happened. Again, probably the greatest game in college football history. But the thing I wonder is, during that 2-minute drive, Alabama had 2 timeouts. Why didn't they use either of them? Alabama had many downfalls in this game. I said both these teams were going to beat themselves throughout the live stream. I said these teams were beating themselves. They had silly penalties. Quarterbacks were indecisive. They felt the pressure. Both teams beat themselves in a way, but Alabama just beat themselves more down the stretch. Why didn't they use their 2 timeouts? That's probably something that Nick Saban's going to have to answer all throughout the offseason. Why didn't you use your 2 timeouts? Because you had 2 of them left. You could have still gotten time. You could have pressured Clemson into not going for the win. And that is going to do it. Comment your thoughts below on how epic of a game this was. Sorry I'm whispering. It is 12:23 in the morning. I think this is the latest I've ever done a video. Anyway, like and subscribe to the channel. I think I have 571 subscribers now. The goal is to get 600 by the March Madness tournament. That is my new goal. Hopefully I can reach that. I think I might. I have the confidence in myself. And you guys. You guys make everything happen. Follow me on Twitter at JBTalkSports. Also, kind of like my Facebook page. I haven't brought it up lately, but it's Johnny Talk Sports. You just search on Facebook, Johnny Talk Sports. It'll be there. Anyway, share this with your friends, family. Share it on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, anything. Have a great day. We're going to have the divisional playoffs. We're going to have that prediction video probably tomorrow evening. Have a great night, everybody.